And this is the will of the one who sent me, that I should not lose anything of what he gave me. This is a desire of the heart of the Father that he's sharing with the Son, Jesus, and he's sharing with us today. And it is a desire which our saint today, St. Catherine of Siena, held in her heart with great fervor as well. She was a spiritual giant. She lived very closely to God, and she was known to be a mystic. God allowed her to see into the supernatural world with clarity. And one time, God gave her a glimpse of hell. And the impression it had on her was so strong that she begged God, and she asked God one time, she goes, God, would you let me stand at the gates of hell? Would you let me suffer all the torments that are held within, if it would mean that nobody would be able to enter, that nobody would pass through those gates and experience that? She was willing to suffer all things for the sake of other people's salvation. At the same time, when she encountered people who were sinful, wayward, she had the courage, even as a young woman, to speak God's truth with them with charity. She spoke rebuke to kings and queens, to cardinals, to bishops, priests, and even the Pope himself, who needed someone to speak to him God's word. What was the underlying thing that allowed her to do both of these things? The fire of God's love. Her love for God and her love for other people, her desire that not one person would be lost from God's saving plan, motivated her in both circumstances. She's a saint that has a lot to teach our world today that is so divided, that's so quick to judge, that's so quick to say, you need to do this. For us who are kind of spiritually lazy, she says, we need to be willing to suffer for each other, to pray for each other, to make ourselves uncomfortable so other people can be comfortable. But also for us who might be spiritually afraid, she gives us the courage to speak God's truth where it needs to, in love, in charity. But it's only doing both of those things that preserves the full desire of God, and that's that not one person be lost. So may St. Catherine teach us this delicate balance of praying and serving one another, but also challenging one another where we need to be challenged so that the fire of God's love may spread throughout the world.